Chloe. Hello. How's everybody doing? Let's see. Oh, here comes Miss Thing. Check this girl out. Chloe, can you say hi? Chloe. Chloe. Look into the camera. Can you guys see her? She's getting a little frustrated. There she is. Look at those gorgeous eyes she has. Blue eyes. Okay, I'll let you go, Chloe. How are you? It's been a while, hasn't it? So nice to see you all in here. Let me start saying hi to you all. Let's see. Hi, Ashley Oaks. Hi, Rainy Joe. Hi, Titanic Ken. Patty, hello. Hi, Chris. Hi, KS. Hello, Kirby. Kirby, I haven't talked to you in forever. Hi, Lisa. Z Storage is here. Wow, Z Storage. I haven't seen. Oh, and there's Barb. Hey, Barb. It was good talking to you yesterday. And Casey. Hi, Casey. Hi, Zelda. Hi, Ava and Jay. I hope I'm not. And Maya. Let's see. Did I say Kelly? Country Christian. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. Liz. Hey, Liz. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, you made it to a live, sis. Yes, you did. Thank you for being here. Let's see. We've got Jennifer and Frigaria Vesca. Hello to everybody. So you saw the video yesterday, I assume. If you didn't, it's still there to look at. I've got a lot of questions from the last, week, 2 week, probably about a week, between Jose coming out of the woodwork and his, like I said in my video, at first I felt like he was a decent guy, but I realized I was snowed. As time went on, it was as if there was just too many inconsistencies in the stories, and I also felt like there were parts that he absolutely embellished. Like, for example, I shouldn't even laugh because it's serious, but when he spoke about Dawn being in the shower with Summer and saying that he just came in there and he made it sound like he came into the shower while Summer's in there with Dad and just pulled her out. And for whatever reason, I have the hardest time believing that story. Did anybody else, get the same? I think I'm hearing lies. Did anybody else question that as well? Yeah, Carol. Yes, I was just like, that's a little far off. I mean, it would take a lot of nerve to go in and get a child out of the shower with their parent, even if it was suspicious and weird and off, like that whole situation. Like, I just couldn't see that happening. He also made it sound like he was like housewife of the year, cooking and cleaning and carrying on with the kids. And it was just like, I'm sorry, I just can't picture that one either. Maybe he had some involvement, but I don't believe it was quite what he made it out like it was, in my opinion. Yes, over embellishment for sure. You are right, Patty. I think some things were true. I do too. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jose made himself, let's see, Jose made himself the hero in every scenario. He sure did. Like Superman. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I don't know if Liz, did I say thank you for the super chat? I hope I did. Thank you so much, Kelly. Great job putting things together. Good critical thinking. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know it was a random video. Gosh. I tried for a long time that whole day to make a video that made sense, and I just couldn't get the words out right. And then finally, it seemed like once my family was home, I was like, whatever, I'm going to try one more time. And I got enough out, but there was so much more I really wanted to say. The time sort of ran out. But anyway, thank you. Thank you. It was a challenge to make that video, and I don't know why. It shouldn't have been. Sometimes it is. I think I've had just from being sick and being offline, not doing videos and stuff for a while. In the same way that writers might get writer's block, I got just block. I can't explain. It's ridiculous, but it's true. Let's see. Sheila Kelly. I do not believe that he confronted DW as many times as he said. I don't either. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure the incident with the domestic incident, didn't that happen on the 14th? Or was it I can't remember exactly, but it was like, I believe it was the very next day that he took off to South Carolina, right? So he wouldn't have exactly had time to interact with Don if Don had just arrived home, from my understanding, unless I'm getting the story wrong. But it sounds like this whole domestic thing happened when Don arrived home, and there was this, I don't know, warring that was going on between him and Jose. Unless there's more to it, unless really Jose was around longer than, unless he was around long I'm sorry, unless Don was around longer, but I thought he just got home from that trip and then the whole knockdown drag out happened. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with. Let's see. His willingness to live in that home tells us everything we need to know about him, the filth, etc. It sure does, Barb. Absolutely right. Very glad you're feeling better. Yeah, thank you. Me too. It's been long. It's been long and draining. It's like every time one of us gets better, we get it again, and it's an upper respiratory thing. So it's the coughing. It's not fun. But my mod Rainy, she's been having the same stuff go on. Hey, Rainy. Zelda, how you doing, Zelda? If Jose is such a great man, then what the heck is he doing staying in such a filthy dump? Birds of a feather flock together. You nailed it. Yep. Jose said he stayed on a few weeks later, but that's been refuted. It sure has. It was not, I don't even think it was a week. Was it? I feel like it was the very next day he left to South Carolina, unless somebody can tell me different. But that's how I remember it. So I'm not sure. Okay. My question, why is Tim Mullen, why did Tim Mullen back up this phone on his computer? Good to see you too, Mallory. What does everybody think about that? Is he the person that Donna spoke about? Why can't I think of the name? Darren. Is he the Darren? Is he involved? What does he know? What does he know that he might be covering for Don over? You know what I mean? Why would he back up pictures, let's say contact information, whatever you're going to get from a download backup? Why would he do that? Because here's how it went down. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, because I realize some people don't follow this as closely as others. On February 7th, Don went into the slammer. He handed over his phone, his hat, and his jacket, maybe even a wallet, I'm not positive, to Tim Mullen. Tim Mullen then took that phone, backed it up to his own personal computer, hey, Bex, and he's really, really hesitant to turn it in. Of course, supposedly, now Candus had the phone again, and she handed it over to their own personal private investigator, Chris, who, by the way, I've never heard of Chris. I didn't hear about him until like a week ago or something. So not sure if anybody else had heard about him either. It sounds like Chris and Trudy, according to these audio recordings that I listened to, Chris and Trudy are the private investigators that have been working on this case, the Wells case. Now, what's interesting to me, and I don't even know if this lines up at all, is when I spoke to Dudley on the phone, he said that a guy named Chris with Something Investigations had been calling him and telling him to not interview with anybody and to not share his story and all this other stuff, like was trying to hush him up. I remember that very well, and I don't even know if it's the same Chris, but that's a very random thought, but I made that connection, like, a couple days ago, and I was wondering, I wonder if that's the same guy that's supposedly working on the Wells case, you know? Who knows? Okay, let me catch up with some comments here. Candus Bly states, "I really don't know him very well. He came around about 2 weeks after Summer got gone." And this is Tim Mullen, you're saying, or Chris? Interesting. Now, supposedly, Tim Mullen, if we're talking about Tim Mullen again, supposedly he met the Wells at, it was like this first or second vigil for Summer. Now, I also heard that they met at that, it was like a relay or like a parade or something where Candace and Robin held up the big banner for Summer. Remember that? I don't know which one it was because I've heard 2 different stories now. That's the thing, you we hear so many different stories. It's hard to make heads or tails, I swear. Okay, let's see here. He's the funniest rat. Me, I thought of Darren. But then David David looks like Darren, and he participates in Appalachian fairs where they dress as various characters. That could line up. Very interesting. Hey, Barb S, how you doing? Good to see you here. The uppers are the PIs. Yeah. Here's my thoughts. I believe, remember like 3 weeks ago when Ronnie Lawson came out, it was on the local media there. I can't remember W you know what I'm talking about. It's their local network there in that part of Tennessee. And he said that the parents are being uncooperative and that they've obtained attorneys. Remember that? I honestly believe that. Do you know what the term tickling the wire means? Well, that's what I think that was. I think it was an effort to, get people talking. Honestly, that's what I think. Because, yeah, you notice that it got them, yes, WJHL, I couldn't think of the acronym. Yeah. Hey, Jackie. Thanks, plus. Okay, I was curious to know if she meant her lawyer that a lot of suspect. She has not in regards to the boys, but another one for criminal charges. Yes, poking the bear. That's what I felt like it was also. It was definitely, a way to trigger and instigate some sort of, talk between the 2 people, especially because right now they're separated. You know, you got Don and the Slammer, you've got Candace home. You wanna see what they're talking about, you wanna get them talking, that's my opinion. I think it's very possible that Rainy Joe, wow. Rainy, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. 1999 super sticker. Thank you, Rainy. Hey, Andrea Wheatley. Hi, sweetie PieLo. How are you? Lovely gal. Hi, chat and mods. Well, hello to you too. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I'm late, but why does Don give Tim his phone instead of his wife? Tim and Don share a secret. That's what I think. Remember, in Donna's reading, she makes it very, 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 very clear by the end of that reading. Because first she kind of talks about it that she feels like there's pictures, and by the end of it, she says, "Oh, there's pictures." So I wonder if those pictures were on the phone, if maybe it's not actually a physical camera, but it's more about the phone having the pictures on it. I don't know, but it's so extremely telling that, that Tim would be so protective and so hesitant to turn in this phone, and it's like Vinny kept telling him, turn in the phone," and he wasn't doing it. So, And so I understand why Benny's done what he's done, and, some people have said, like, in the comments that I was able to read, um, "Benny, I don't trust a word he says." But you have to remember something, Benny has been their go-to guy for 8 months? So he knows he has the conversations that we never got to have, that we never got to hear. We weren't privy to the kind of information that he had in his ear from Don, from Candace. And yes, some of it could be lies that they even told Benny. Who knows? But at the very most, it's interesting to listen to, in my opinion. Let's see. It is a tad suspicious. Tim would download Don's phone onto his computer, but if Ellie wanted the data, they would get it. Honestly, I think they're so closely being watched that they probably have this information. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I would imagine they probably, got some sort of a warrant from AT&T, and T, and they already got that information. I don't know, though. I don't know. I wanna know why Tim hasn't went through his SD cards to check if in fact he had photographed Candace and her family before Summer went missing. Oh, that's right, he's a photographer. Oh, man, that lines up too, doesn't it? Wow. Oddly enough, both Tim and David Dotson are into this photography thing. That's a trip. Benny has a very dark past with oh, I know all about it. I promise you. I'm very well aware. And he's jealous of Candace turning his cameras off and talking to Ernie Shaw. I know. I actually saw something the other day. It was Candace talking to Ernie, and it was the funniest quote. Barb, I forgot to tell you this when I was talking to you. Oh, my husband's home. He might come in here in a sec. It was Candace saying, "I don't know how to lie. It's not in my metabolism." Did anybody else catch that? I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but it was really funny. It was a hoot just hearing that. I agree. If Ellie wanted that info, they would get it. T-Mobile knows all of my info. Exactly. Same here. I've got nothing to hide. I've got my info too. Thank you, Julia. Sweetie PieLo, hope you and family are feeling better little by little. Yeah. I actually have to take my daughter to the doctor here in a little bit. I had to take my other doctor, 2 days ago to the doctor. It's constant. It's really constant. Okay, Kiko Mandy. Metabolism, gee whiz, that's bad. I was laughing. I couldn't help it. It was too funny. And yes, they all lie. Absolutely, Sylvia. I I don't know how to deal with liars. So it's really like, what do you take as gospel when so much of it is a lie? I don't know. It's just too much lying going on. Hey, Real Con Gonzo, thank you for being here. Al, much love, good vibes. Thanks for chatting it up with us. Glad you are healing up. Thank you, Gonzo. So good to see you. Oh, Pointer Lover, thank you so much for the super chat. Great job on this. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Hey, Bambio. ELP put a video out of TM, which I think she's saying Tim Mullen, saying he downloaded both Candace and Dawn's phone on his computer. Oh, I didn't see that. Interesting. Wow. Melissa Sinclair, hello. They would need a warrant for Tim's CPU. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Now, have any of you heard the part? Because I haven't heard this yet, but I've seen comments about it that supposedly Starlink, which is their GPS system in the Subaru, that supposedly Starlink was turned off on June 15th. Does anybody know where I can hear that? Because I haven't heard that part for myself. But I've had 2 people tell me that Starlink was turned off. Good afternoon. Hey, Janice. Thank you for being here. Hello, Mary Deethy Deals. How are you? Hopefully, I said your name right. Where was Candace on last night? Yeah, don't know. Yeah, that's what I heard in these different comments was that because remember, Don said there was actually a big, like, knockdown, drag out fight between Don and Candace on Molly Golightly's channel. I think it was back in December. And that's when Don said, "I've got 7 alibis and you've got none, and you're going down." Remember that? That was the night I think he was talking about the Starlink, if I'm not getting my wires crossed here. And then supposedly okay, so it's in Benny's recording. That's what I heard, but I must not have heard that part of it yet. I thought I listened to all of it. Maybe I missed something. Okay, it's in Benny's recording. All right. Good to know. Yes, I heard that on MGL, yeah. That was a big deal when that happened. I was like, "Whoa, how dysfunctional can things get?" Whoa. For what it's worth, some people have no business to others' truths. If someone I have no obligation to ask me a personal question, the answer I give might vary. Yeah. I mean, they don't owe us anything, honestly. I just don't understand why when Don was in the free world, not, locked up, he was always on YouTube, and now Candace is on YouTube all the time. But I did see, like a 30-minute thing with the glare the other night, and Candace was being advised by him to not don't go on YouTube anymore. Why are you doing this? And who knows, she might listen to him. I don't know if she's been on really since, but I thought that was pretty good advice because it could jeopardize an investigation by her being on YouTube all the time and talking about things like Jackie Dobbs and Don and Tim Mullins and like she just doesn't have any business doing that. Oh, is Aaron Mullen here? Where's Aaron? If he is, Aaron Mole, I really like the work you do. You are like the most professional guy I've seen yet on YouTube. One of them for sure. I really appreciate the work you do. So if you haven't seen Aaron Mole's channel, it's a great channel. Fact, she was not in a facility last night, right? It seemed like someone's house. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, what does uppers mean? Uppers? Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. So is this when Candace was saying that she handed her phone off to an upper? I think that's Chris, the private investigator. She handed her the Dawn's phone in the bag over to Chris, the private investigator. Now, another thing that came out in Benny's, I like to call them Benny leaks because that's basically what they are, that the cell tower, how did he put this? And hopefully I'm not mixing it up. It was something like the cell tower was dumped in a way, like they know what phones came in and out of that entire radius. And then they held Candace to task on the fact that she had left her home 2 times on June 15th, which is, I think, a really big deal. A really big deal. So, like I said in my video, it would suggest she might have come home that day with Summer and things were normal until she was ready maybe to go do this meetup, right? I mean, there's obviously many scenarios that could have gone down, but from there, I think she might have left and taken Summer. I think we're talking about 3 hours of missing time. So she could have even driven an hour and a half across state lines into Virginia for all we know. Taken her to Donnie, let's say wherever Donnie was. They met up. Then she comes back, which let's just say that takes another hour and a half or whatever. At the very most, right? An hour and a half. She comes back. She does the whole feigning, tears and, Summer's gone, freaking out. and then leaves again to go look for Summer. That's really what in my mind, I picture that. Now, interestingly enough, in Donna's 41-minute reading she talked about an alternate. Do you guys remember that in her reading? She said, "For some reason, I'm seeing my alternate here." And that alternate was that Summer, so this is a totally alternate scenario, that Summer in that back seat with those milk jugs was in her final stages of like she was pretty much almost, gone. And that's kind of interesting to me because that would line up with what the friend of Grandma Candus came out saying. Remember? Grandma Candus's friend said that she was told by her that in the back seat when Summer was on the milk jugs, that basically she had taken a drink of something, some concoction or whatever, and Grandma goes, "Don't drink that." Remember that? And then Candus had to go meet Don to give Summer to Don so that he could take her to seek medical attention. Remember that? So I've wondered if it's not that Summer was, sold, could it have been that she was in her final moments of life there? It's very interesting to consider. Another thing to say real quick, when Donna did her reading on Brian Laundrie, this is so very interesting because remember, it came out in the coroner's report, a month or two ago, that Brian shot himself with his left hand. Brian shot himself with his left hand. Well, remember, Donna said that he slit his wrist, but about 22 minutes into that reading on Brian Laundrie, she says, "I'm seeing a gun." So not only did she see a gun, that he had a gun, but also that he slit his wrist, and it kept kind of alternating these scenarios. So I wonder if that's even what's going on with Summer's 41-minute reading. In other words, this alternate scenario could be completely what happened as well, in my opinion, the more I think about it. And what got me really considering that is a comment that I saw early this morning when I was checking comments on that video. Somebody said, "Well, why don't you think that she was, dying in that back seat and that the grandma's friend's story checks out?" And then I just started thinking about it and I thought, well, who knows? Maybe that is what happened. Only Donna knows what she sees, but I'll tell you what, she sees the big stuff, and her work is out of this world, blows me away, and blows many of you away as well. That's why we're all here discussing things like this. I feel like she saw it for a reason. So I'm just saying, I think we should keep in mind the alternate scenario. Maybe that means something, because in the case of Brian Laundrie, it meant something there, right? Because he did use a gun, but he also used his left hand, and he was a right-handed person, which to me would suggest he may have slit his wrist with his right, and so he had to use the left to kill himself. Okay, let me get to some of these comments. And I'm probably going to have to get off of here in a few minutes. Okay, Summer could have also been drugged. Yes. Donna got chills about that. She said that that she felt she could have been drugged for the transfer. So if it's that scenario that she was sold, either way, right? Because in the case of her getting sick from possibly drinking some concoction, that could have made her drugged and them have to try to seek medical attention, which they probably didn't do. And that's why we're in this scenario anyway. Okay, those so-called psychics say a little bit of every scenario possible so people think they predicted it. It's a bunch of garbage. That's what I thought too, Sue, but I've witnessed her solve an entire case before anybody even knew these kids were dead. So I have to say, I give her work a heck of a lot of credibility in that sense. It's real deal. It is. Her clues have materialized into big leads. Big leads. I'm a lefty, I shoot and golf righty. Who knows? Okay. It could also be a throw off saying Tim downloaded the info. Is he that dumb? Hmm. Well, what's weird is Tim's going, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to. It's like, what? We're talking about a missing kid here. You don't want to get involved? What about this little girl who there's no answers for? She's been missing 9 months and we've got nothing yet. Come on. Yeah, she's excellent at what she does. She is the real deal. I tell you what, there's been so many times where I go back and I listen to something that she put out and I'm going, "Holy moly, she got that right too. What?" It's bizarre. So I really appreciate I appreciate her ability big time. My husband's lefty and shoots with his right hand. Okay, interesting. If he cut his left wrist with his right hand, he still got his right hand. So have so it would have to be that he cut his right wrist with his left hand. Yeah. Is that not what I said? I'm sorry if I didn't say that. You have such a generous and kind heart, sweetie. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, RH. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Well, same here, Connie. Same here. Big time. This poor baby needs to be laid to rest if she is dead. If she's missing, she needs to be found. Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Moon Goddess. I really appreciate your super sticker. Thank you. That might just be what I heard. Bex, I think Tim is looking for a movie or book deal. That is interesting you say that because I was having just the biggest feeling the other night. It was so random. Sometimes I just see random stuff. I'm intuitive, but I'm not like Donna's level at all. But I was just seeing for some reason Benny Keys like on the big screen talking about Summer Wells' case. It was bizarre. It was out of nowhere. And I felt like somebody's going to turn this into whether it's going to be a Lifetime movie or it's going to be a documentary or it's going to be something. I think that's what Tim's motivation has been also. Oh, geez. Thank you so much, RH. That is very kind of you. $49.99 super sticker. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Netflix still. I just feel like that's going to happen. And why wouldn't it? This has become such a huge international, focus of a case. When is Donna's next summer update? Last I talked to her about summer, I think she just can't anymore. It's too much. It's really difficult for her to see these details because they've been very graphic, awful kind of stuff that she just can't. She doesn't want to see it anymore because she sees the whole like they have to go through exactly how it happened all over again every time she looks into it, and it gives her nightmares for days, weeks. It's just a really horrible thing for her. So I understand why she's saying no more. I mean, we've got that 12-minute reading, we've got that 41-minute reading. I think all of it is relevant in some way, shape, or form. It just is. Barb, thank you so much, Barb. You didn't have to do Thank you. $20 super sticker. Thank you so much, Barb. Appreciate you. 100% agree about movie. Look at Tim's background. Yeah. He's got ulterior motives for sure. That's what I sense. And Candus doesn't care for him one bit. So maybe that it's like, was he too much in her business or something? I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. I post clips sometimes in a minute. Okay. Oh, hello. How are you? Is it Sela? Emily P. How are you doing? I hope all is well. Good to see you. Let's see. I got so freaked out when I watched court TV about Moab murders and they mentioned about a guy that was Thank you for saying that, Marion. Same thing here. In fact, that night when I was watching court TV, was Vinnie Politan, is that how you say his name? When he started talking about basically everything we heard in Donna's reading, I about fell over in my chair. I was like, "She got this right again?" Now, as it turns out, the guy that they let go, but they have the, what do you call that? It's not an arrest affidavit, but it's a warrant, something about the warrant. I can't think of the name of it, but basically, let me just for those who don't know, there was a person that was pulled over sometime in August. I wanna say August 16th-ish? So this would have been right after the murders. No, it wouldn't have been August 16th. Anyway, it was after the Moab murders. There was a guy who was driving kind of maybe erratically, acting kinda spazzy. He was pulled over, and as it turned out, he became a suspect in the Moab murders case. Well, he started working at Moonflower right after, not Kylan, after Kylan was already killed. Well, in Donna's, um, Moab, Kylan and Crystal reading, she saw that this guy would be closely associated or an employee of Moonflower Cafe. She also talked about a jacket, and which I believe was found, right? A jacket was also found in his area where he was sleeping. I guess he was sleeping like he was parked and sort of like van lifing or something like that, somewhere near where the gals were, where they were staying.
I'm going to pick them up.
You're gonna go? Okay. Okay. Thank you. I love you. Um, so where was I? Yeah, that was bizarre. So thank you for mentioning that about the Moab murders. But for whatever reason, something happened and they let this guy go. Enough to put out this, my word, my mind is so jumbled, I'm sorry. They put out whatever this was. Was it a warrant? I can't remember, but they put out the information about that whole interaction with the guy. So look that up and then go listen to Donna's reading. You tell me if you think it's the guy. Sounds just like him. It was a trip. I feel like Donna's spot on. Andrew and his top hat, his creepy brother that funded the trip, Jeffy. Yeah, remember Chris and Jeff would be possibly important names. Also, Jason. It's like a J name. Could it have been Jose? I don't know. And the fact Jose and Darren from Bewitched look very similar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she's got a lot to say. I would love to talk to Rev Donna, pick her brain. Just so amazing. Yeah. It's pretty interesting stuff, isn't it? Oh, hey, how are you, Q Leonard? Good to see you. Frank Light looks like Darren from Bewitched. Honestly, I don't wait, I did see a picture of Frank Light. Does he have like long hair? I think I have seen him, but I didn't notice the Darren from Bewitched part. I mean, it's so funny. People all the time send emails and say, "Doesn't this guy look like Darren from Bewitched?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't even know. I've seen so many now." It's funny. Oh, wow, Titanic, and thank you so much. That is so kind of you. I really appreciate the super sticker. Thank you. I think Dotson is the black and white Darren Stevens, but we haven't seen Jeff. I know Jeff doesn't show his face. Old Jeffy. And it's funny because Andrew calls Jeffy his brother. I mean, well, maybe some people do that, but you could at least say like brother from another mother. I've heard that, as in friendship, but he talks about him like he's his actual brother. It can be a little confusing. Jacqueline Slaughter said, Benny got worry on his face when a person in his chat stated she spoke with Lawson about this phone. Yeah. Like I said in that video yesterday, I feel like the arrest I do, I truly feel like it's in the next few months, and it could come and go just like March has, pretty much, and it be nothing, but I just keep feeling that. So we'll see. We'll see. Donna has never mentioned that it would be in the next 3 months. This is only my opinion, so it's not coming from Donna, just so you know. One of the friends let's see, One Eye Open said, "One of the friends said that they suspected a guy early on that when Donna did her reading matched the guy to the T." I think you're talking about the Moab you talking about the Moab murders case? Wonder why Jeffy doesn't show his face, looking like Darren has become common knowledge. It's pretty weird. He doesn't show his face at all. Also, I don't know what to make of this Andrew Hiltz, um, conversation he supposedly had the other day with a family member of Jose's that came out saying all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm talking about, I assume, right? If you don't, it was that Jose has a very sordid past, that he's into weird stuff, and it wouldn't be too far off to believe that he has done things like what Donna's reading talks about, without putting it all out there. So you can cryptically pick up what I'm putting down, I hope. Jeffy showed his face on live. He did? Okay, I haven't seen it. Hey, Be Real. Thanks for being here. There's Liz. Let's see. Imagine for a moment Andrew being your dad. Oh, Liz. Liz, you're funny. Yeah, I know. I can't imagine that one. Well, what's crazy is he would like yell at his kids and carry on. It was just the most outrageous, like disrespectful, dishonorable thing to do, especially on a live. I'm like, whoa, this guy is unhinged. He's crazy. He's probably listening right now. He's like, whoa, this lady's total. Jeez. Okay, if Andrew used his kids like we think he might, how did he influence age and did that impact Summer? I don't know. You see, I still don't think Hunter's all the way involved. I just don't. I'm probably naive in saying that, but I just don't think he's involved. Anybody else feel that way, or does everybody think Hunter's involved? I believe that Andrew is old. Oh, I know, Rainey. I know. 33. Andrew is 33. I was shocked to know that. No offense, Andrew, if you're listening. I'm sorry. But I was shocked to hear that too. You guys speculate so much. I'm not. That's what we do here, Squid Ass. That's what we do. We speculate. And hey, it's open here. You can say what you want to say. No judgment. You felt like Hunter had something to do with it. Well, I don't know why I don't. I just don't. I would have to see some convincing sort of evidence to really believe it. But then again, he has acted out a whole lot since the whole Summer thing happened, which would suggest he's got demons and stuff he's really fighting inside. Maybe. And you know, it could also be the sudden attack from the public. You know, all of us crazies here on YouTube, everybody's probably sending him Facebook Messenger, you know, messages or whatever, and asking him or accusing him of being involved. That could change a person too. So I know that people say he's changed since this whole deal happened, but maybe that's why he's changed. Because who would be dumb enough to involve someone with so much immaturity? Right. That's what I think too. Jeffy does show his face. Eric Khan is Jeffy, the weirdo in Andrew Hill's life. Wait, are they the same person? I thought they were two different people. I thought Eric Khan, he's like the sort of baldish guy, hair on the side. slightly overweight, not really, a little bit. Jeffy, I've never seen his face. I thought they were 2 different people. H might know something, but not had anything to do with Summer's demise. That's how I feel too, Jackie. I really do, and we might be wrong. Just don't feel like he did anything that day. I feel like he could have been their patsy or something in a way, because from what I think happened is she probably did spend time with Hunter and Summer because she knew something was gonna happen later that day. She didn't want the boys around, and maybe if there really was this inappropriate thing going on with Hunter, she didn't want the kids around anyway because they would tell dad. So then I think she dropped Hunter off and then went home, did this meetup thing, came back home, and you know the rest. I don't feel like Hunter was there. I just don't. H isn't believed or believable. That's the thing, they all lie. Who can keep track of all the lies? Hate to say it, but it's true. Andrew Hiltz has a very sordid past as well. Drug abuse. I'm sure it goes way further than that. Don't forget he went to Candus's house also. What was the real purpose? I'd say a drug run, trafficking run. Mhm. Yeah. Well, he cared for Summer. That's traumatic, and Summer's brothers are traumatized. There you go. Exactly. That could be what shook him up, what changed him, what made him sort of, rebel in the way he's been doing since then. All of that is so traumatizing because you know he was close to little Summer. You can tell in the pictures and stuff. He had to have been. I just don't think he would harm her. What other psychics are reading this case want to compare for when it's solved? There's a number of them. Let's see. Whoever watches a lot of different psychics, throw out some names to recommend for home remedies so that she can go watch some, because that would be interesting to compare and contrast. I'll tell you what, though, the other psychic I listened to who pretty much got all the same points Donna did, she took her reading off of YouTube. So I've never been able to see it since, but there was some conflicting things about that reading and things that lined up exactly the same as Donna, the same demise for Summer. That was a big deal to me because I first heard that lady's reading and then I heard Donna's. It was in that order. And I was like, oh my gosh, Donna is saying the same thing. It's bizarre. It's very interesting, though. Okay, good. Thank you for throwing out some names. Okay. Above and Beyond Ancestors is a good psychic. Yep. It's so funny because for the longest time, in my opinion, psychics have been taboo. Okay. I mean, they were to me. I didn't believe in any of this stuff at all, as you know. As if you know me, you know that. But my mind was forever changed when Donna figured out what happened to the missing kids in Idaho. Months and months before anybody knew, before law enforcement knew. Her knowing the DNA was in the shed, the outbuilding, on tools, just all of it. That you just can't make that up. Knowing JJ was in his pajamas, that he was covered in a bag and duct tape. Those are details you just can't come up with. I'm sorry, you can't. There's too many obvious alternatives that it could be. But she specifically got those details. That's a big deal. I will never forget it as long as I live. And I will probably tell everybody who's near and dear to me that story because it's just that. It's impacted me a whole lot. I'm the same, a Christian who didn't go near that. Same here. stumbled upon her Tylee JJ reading, and she got every detail. It proved to me. And one day, I was just forever changed from it. It's unbelievable. Not just a bag, but a white bag followed by a black. Yep, exactly, Q Leonard. Mhm. And even the way she said that Lori came up behind JJ with the bag and exactly what happened, and then it comes out in court testimony that he was found. I hate to get graphic, I'm sorry, I apologize, the trigger warning, but he was found in that way, with the bag, the duct tape around the bag, that they had to cut through layers of tape to get to this part. Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Andrew worships Satan for real. So in hearing that, now you think back to the Summer Wells and you go, wow, if she got all those things right, what is she going to get right about Summer Wells? It'll be interesting to see. You know, I would like to do that, home remedies. I really would. She says, "Sweetie PieLo, can you make a video comparing the different readings, even the ones wrong?" Yeah, I would love to do that. As a matter of fact, somebody left me a comment on my very, very, very first videos. You know, the ones where I was in my closet because I had to find a quiet space to even video? They're really low budge, looking bad, just warning. But I thought to myself, it would be great to redo those videos because, boy, I mean, that would prove a lot of Donna's work right, just in those kind of specific details that lined up perfectly to Chad Daybell's arrest affidavit. It's incredible. So I think I will redo those. Would you guys actually watch those if I took the time and redid them? If you would, I will do it all over again because they're very important. It's important stuff to know. Sweetie, please go to the YouTube channel Undisputed Truth. She has the same gift as Donna. Look at her past readings that are correct and then look at Summers. Oh, she also gave a location. Okay, I will. Let me write that down. Undisputed Truth. Okay. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah Saving. Oh, that's another psychic. You guys, Sarah Saving Spirits is awesome as well. I can't believe I didn't say that name. Thank you so much. That's so generous of you, Sarah. Thank you. She says, "Can't stay. Just saying hi, beautiful. I love you. Keep shining your light, sister." Thank you, Sarah. Really appreciate you. I hope you have a good day. Blessings for all, for you all in life's loving lights, and have an awesome, amazing day. Thank you, Janice. You also have a good day. Paranormal After Dark is really good. I've never seen Paranormal After Dark. Okay, I'm going to write that one down too. Paranormal. Okay. Thank you, Angela. Michelle. If that's to me, thank you. Thank you guys very much. I love all of you too. Hi, sweetie. Pray for Summer. Hope you have a good day. Yes. Yes, we need to be praying for justice for her. Absolutely. Thank you, Bruce. Good reminder. Oh, and about the Ukraine. Oh man, that's so hard to watch, to imagine the suffering going on in that country. Who's following the Ukraine stuff in my chat? Long Island medium. Yeah, Sarah Saving Spirits. She does a great job for sure. Yeah, I'm following it too. And it looks like last I checked, it looked like Mariupol is just like in ashes. When is this going to end? The problem is you've got a struggle of egos here. You've got Zelensky, you've got Putin. They're both total alpha males, and I don't think this is gonna be resolved anytime soon. You see the influential well, you see the power, obviously, that Putin has, just this Russian army he's sending in there. He's even got the Chechens in there. And then there's the Ukrainians, which are the underdog, and I want them to win, but I don't know how they're gonna win this. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a pessimist, but I would hate to see all this suffering, all this death, for in the end, them to not win anyway. Does that make sense? Yeah, he does. You're right. That's what it seems like for sure. It's all propaganda, wag the dog. Yeah, it is. So much of it is. Our media, especially. Russia. Russia's flailing. That's why they are being so brutal. It's awful to see. And then you think about these mothers, they're losing their kids. And it honestly reminds me so much of the former Yugoslavia when Serbia was fighting with Bosnia. It's like brother against brother. It's like you shouldn't be fighting in the first place. What was Putin thinking? Just doesn't make much sense at all. Oh, thank you so much, Truca Girl One, for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. Thanks. Oh, hey, Donna's reading on that, by the way. What she said about this bridge, you know that's probably gonna happen, right? It's just a matter of time. I would guess it will happen. And then we're gonna turn on the TV one day, and we're gonna see that a bridge was hit accidentally, and we're gonna know, "Oh my gosh, she was right. This is a trip." Wonder when it'll be, though. I just wish it wouldn't happen altogether. I never wish bad on anyone, but Putin needs to take a dirt nap for this 10. Yeah, he does. And, he's over 70 years old, and I believe in Russia, that's pretty old for a guy to live. So maybe he's living out these last day, desires or whatever. I don't know. Like, is this part of his bucket list or something? Who knows? But it doesn't make a whole lot of sense what he's done. I've been waiting for the bridge every day. I believe it's gonna happen. I would not be surprised if it does, I'll say that. The grand jury is meeting in Tennessee soon to go over cases that are coming up, and I hope that Summer Wells is one of them, just like with the West boys they put in front of the grand jury. Yeah. I keep hearing, in April that could happen, so we're soon to be in April. Can't wait. Can't wait for some movement, that's for sure. Jennifer Mary, could you please put together a panel of psychics organized with questions to further bring light to Summer Wells' case? I feel you hosting would be amazing if it was organized. I like that idea. That's a fantastic idea, and thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. That's a good idea, Jennifer. Anybody else think that's a good idea? I do. That would be extremely interesting, wouldn't it? To hear what they've seen, what they feel could be the big stuff that happened to her, where she might be. Those would be great questions to ask. Oh, hey, Mountain Girl. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We could make it happen. Rainey, what do you think? Should we do that? In Titanican? Good idea? Yeah, good idea. I should probably go. I know I don't wanna go, but I know I have to get my daughter to the doctor. My husband's going to pick her up. Well, pick up actually both of my daughters because 'cause we're going to the doctor here in a moment. Are you a sensitive? When you say let's see, hold on. Andrea Wheatley, Sweetie PieLo, are you a sensitive? You mean, are you saying like an somewhat an intuitive, like an empath type? Is that what you mean? Because if so, I would have to say I am. I'm not obviously, like a psychic, but I definitely get feelings. I've had feelings since I was about 8 years old, and a lot of times they're right, and sometimes they're totally dead wrong. But I am very, empathic, or yeah, empathic. Definitely yeah, for sure. Sweetie, Undisputed Truth gave location for summer. You can even email her and she will respond to you. I'm curious if it's the same place that Donna was looking at. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I'll have to reach out to her for sure. It'd be interesting. Chris and Trudy. I have no idea, but I bet Cam and Allie know. NATO can't retaliate. A surrender must take place. I know. That's what I've been feeling too, Joel. Mm-hmm. Can't stand to see all this death and mayhem and, complete cities turning to ashes. Back to the Ukraine, sorry. For those like, what's she talking about? Yeah, it's really difficult to watch this play out, and I know a lot of it could be propaganda for sure, but it's still suffering, and it's really difficult to watch for sure. Yes, empath and sensitive to spirits if you go in someone's house and there's one there. Mhm. Yeah, as a child, I had some weird things like that happen to me. I remember one specific time, I don't know how old I was. I might have been 8 or 9, and my mom and brother and we went up to the mountains, like, I think it was in Flagstaff. So, I'm in Arizona, by the way, and we were staying in somebody's house. It was like not a rental, it was before the whole vacation rental, but it was my mom's friend's house, I think. And my mom, my brother, and me, we all had an overwhelming feeling that there was demonic spirits in there. Bizarre. I know that sounds bizarre, but I felt it in my soul. My mom did. It was all of us. And as it turned out, I think we stayed one night there and then we came back home. It didn't feel right. It's very strange. But you know it if you felt that. It's just this force that feels like unsettled, anxiety producing. It just I remember it so well being a kid. Did you see the reader that predicted Brian Laundrie would be found on live? She said Candus is getting locked up. I can't wait. She said Summer was essayed. I heard about somebody who predicted the day Brian Laundrie would be found, but I didn't know that they predicted he would be found on Alive. Or are you saying, okay, I know what you're saying. Never mind. Who is that reader, by the way, Nora? Let me know. Yeah, everything is getting more censored for sure. I felt it in a house we lived in when I was 5. You know it when you feel it. It's overwhelming. And if you're sensitive to things like that, yeah, they make themselves known, I think, that these weird, like almost demonic type spirits, I don't know. It's very unsettling. Thank you, Anna Marie Davis. Hello, sweetie. Much respect. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's so beautiful down here. And Surprise Day. Oh, so you're in Surprise. So that's like, oh, man, that's quite a distance for me. That's like an hour and a half from me. You still have snow up there. I'm not actually in Flag. If you're talking about Flagstaff, I don't know if you just came in or something. No, we don't ever get snow where I'm at. I wish. I wish we did. Like Barb, I don't know if Barb's still in here. She gets these beautiful snowstorms. And Rainy, you do too, right? Of course, you probably don't like your snowstorms like I would probably enjoy them. Right now, we just get the same weather all the time, don't we, Glamadon? In this Phoenix area, it's always the same, pretty much. Bright, sunshiny days. Thank you, Ornella. Is it Ornella Ruamira? I love your life. Thank you. Rainy says, not so beautiful. She's probably so tired of her weather. She gets the extreme cold, like the weather she has where she's at, one day it's freezing, the next day it's sunshiny, and then it's freezing again, and then there's like tornadoes or all this. It's crazy. It's bipolar weather. Okay, you know what? I have to get going. I've got to go. I really don't want to go, but I have enjoyed this so much. Thank you so, so much for being here today. It's been nice chatting with you. We'll have to do it again soon because there's still other things I want to talk about, but I know I don't have the time now. Anyway, I shall go. Take care, all. Be safe. Pray for summer. Pray for summer. And also pray that this Ukraine thing, that there's some sort of a resolve. Talk to you later. Bye.